Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. If you've listened to me talk about the New Orleans Saints since the Derek Carr signing, you know my feelings on what signal that sent to the organization. In my eyes, that means absolutely zero rebuild, reboot, restart. None of that. That's go win now. And that's the feeling that I've had. And I think the Saints are in position to win their division now. I think a lot of people feel that way because most feel Tampa is going to be awful. No one knows what to think about Desmond Ridder in Atlanta. And what does a rookie quarterback look like in Carolina with admittedly some pretty high-end free agent signings by the Panthers? Saints are the most stable franchise right now entering 2023. But that's not the point of this discussion. There's an article on ESPN today from multiple contributors that attempts to look at the next 3 years of NFL franchises and how the franchises look to perform. Dan Graziano, Louis Riddick, and Seth Walder went through this exercise, looking at teams' roster, looking at their quarterback, looking at the front office and the head coach, and tried to paint a picture of what franchises were set up the best over 3 years. And I thought that was interesting. So they give a scale. If it's 100, it's an A+, that's elite. If it's a 90, it's great, it's an A. An 80 is a B, a 70 is a C, a 60 is a D, and 50 and below are Fs. And they graded all the aspects of all the organizations by these categories: the roster, currently, the quarterback, how they perform in the draft, the front office, and coaching. And then they took those objective numbers, once they were compiled, they're subjective in how they get to be, but they're quantified at the end, and they ranked the teams in the NFL 1 to 32. And they said the team in the best shape was the Philadelphia Eagles. Their overall score was 94%. They think they've got the best roster in the NFL, the best front office in the NFL, second best in the draft, number 4 at quarterback, and 7th in coaching. Everything in the top 7, a couple of number 1s. That is as good a setup as there is in the NFL. The Chiefs are there at 2, the Bengals at 3. Incidentally, they rank Joe as the second best quarterback in the NFL. They've got Mahomes at 1. They've got the Chiefs as the best coach in the NFL. The Bengals, all theirs are in the top 7. So what about the Saints? Like, what does this look like for the Saints? And the answer is a little jarring, to me, at least. We'll see what you think. But you have got to scroll all the way down to number 28. Sorry, number 25 to find the New Orleans Saints. They say 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. They say there's only 7 teams in worse shape over the next 3 years than the New Orleans Saints. Why do they say that? Well, they say that the Saints have the second worst coaching in the NFL. Just not a lot of confidence in Dennis Allen. It didn't go well in Oakland. It didn't go well last year. I don't know that that's unfair. They say that the roster right now, overall, minus the quarterback, is 19th. I think it's a little bit better than that currently. But at quarterback, they got Derek Carr at the 20th best quarterback in the NFL. He's not in the top 7, but I think he's in the top 15. But they've got him at 20. How do they perform in the draft? They've got him at 28. I can't say that I monitor Buffalo's draft or Seattle's draft all that closely. I think you know that about me at this point, but I feel like the Saints have had some pretty good success in the draft. And this is the next one that I've got real beef with. In terms of the front office, they've got him at 28. I think that's harsh. You're essentially saying that Peyton and Breeze are responsible for this entire thing. And while that's not an outlandish thing to say, I do want to give Mickey Loomis and Jeff Ireland and Kai Harley some credit. I would say that since they brought in Ireland, the drafting's been really strong. I would say there's probably no one in the league I would rather have with the pencil in his hand than Kai Harley. And Loomis has been, he brought in Sean Payton. Like, he's been there for this whole thing. So I have a hard time saying that Jacksonville, Arizona, Cleveland have better front offices than the Saints. Like, I think the Saints have a good front office. You want to rank Dennis Allen at 31, saying there's only one spot worse than him in the league. Like, I'm not going to fight you on that. He's got to prove that wrong this year, or it'll be over, and it'll be proven right. And I think the roster's a little bit better than 19th. And I think the quarterback's a little better than 20th. I think the front office is a lot better than 28th. But again, they give reason for concern. I'm watching Dennis Allen-led coaching staff that includes offensive coordinator Pete Carmichael, defensive coordinator Joe Woods. Can this group get the best out of Carr and get him in sync with Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and form a legit explosive offense? Can they get continued championship caliber football out of the defense? Yeah, that's what we think, but this is a little harsh to me. Now, you start to move forward in 3 years, I think, okay, now we're really talking about that, because Cam Jordan will be on the back end of his career. Demario Davis will be on the back end of his career, if not done in 3 years. Tyrann Mathieu, same deal. Michael Thomas, same deal. Alvin Kamara, as far as a running back shelf life, same deal. What comes of the interior offensive line? Do we know Trevor Penning is that dude at left tackle? Those questions are pretty answerable in the short term. They become increasingly negative as we stretch. And that's why it's time to make it happen this year. And these guys write, Dan Graziano writes, the reason for hope. The overall roster, especially on defense, looks strong. The division in which the Saints play does not. Derek Carr should provide an upgrade over what they had last year at quarterback. Michael Thomas says he's feeling better and planning to be back from injuries. So there's evidence that a bounce-back year in New Orleans could be in the cards. And then they give a stat to know, even more than his 1,000-yard rookie season led on, Olave is the future. His 82 open score last year, which I don't even know what that means, ranked 8. I guess that's how often you get open among all wide receivers, and it put him in between Stephon Diggs and Justin Jefferson, a clear sign of a potential superstar and a franchise building block in the making. I always enjoy those stats that they pull out, even though I'm telling you I don't know what that one is exactly. Basically says he gets open a lot is what I'm thinking, and it's one that I can't look up. Like, I can't go figure out how often he got open. I guess I could go back and pull every single game on YouTube and chart every route. Probably not going to do that. But the only franchises that they have listed worse than the Saints in terms of this 3-year outlook is the Colts at 26, the Commanders at 27, the Rams at 28, which is interesting. They pushed their chips. They got their Super Bowl. I think it was worth it. The Texans at 29, the Raiders at 29, the Bucks at 31. They pushed their chips. They got their Super Bowl. It was worth it. And the Cardinals at 32. That's a little bit sobering from the outside to hear that. But again, as I go back to my original point, like, it's not totally out of the question. So that puts more importance on this year. I'm going to try to talk myself into the Saints over the next month. I'm going to try to work myself into this could work. And I think the guiding light for that is the second sentence in the reason for optimism. The division's so bad that all I got to do is go, okay, well, it's going to be better than Tampa. That's fine. It should be better than Atlanta. Okay. And Carolina's got a rookie quarterback. That's not going to work. All right. And that's a quick discussion to have. But then you better cash in the playoffs and have some fun and advance a couple of rounds, because if you don't, it just doesn't look as strong moving forward. But I will push back on a couple of those rankings. There's just no way the front office is that far down the list. And I just think the quarterback's getting a little bit shortchanged there at 20. Hey, it's Hunt. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.